Today, I'm going to show you how to create high quality images for your product pages on Shopify. It's too often you see a store with a good creative, a unique offer, but their product pages are filled with low quality images from Aliexpress. Now you guys know exactly what I mean by low quality Aliexpress images. There's words randomly placed all over the place, images thrown randomly throughout, and that's just not going to convince anybody to buy from you. So let's jump into my computer really quick and I'll show you guys exactly how I take images from Aliexpress and apply them to my own brands. Okay, before we get started, I just want to say two things. One, if you're new here, my name is Alex and I cover all things related to e-commerce. So if you find any value in this video, be sure to subscribe and stick around for future content. And number two, today we will be using this platform right here. This is called Canva. You can access that at canva.com. It is free to use, at least all the features you will need for this video. But I usually use Photoshop, but since this is a beginner-friendly video and a lot of people, one, don't have access to Photoshop because of high costs or don't have the experience with Photoshop yet, we'll be using Canva to keep things short and simple, but you can definitely create a lot more high-quality images on Photoshop when you get the experience, but this is definitely a great tool to get started, and I still use Canva for a lot of things, so you'll want to go through and just click on Instagram post or whatever, but I like the sizing on that. It's 1080 by 1080. And what we're gonna do right now is just go find a random product on AliExpress and I'll go through the product images and we'll actually copy those over to Canva and add our own touches. Okay, so we're back here on AliExpress. I just found this product on the flash sale section of the home page, and this is a high pressure power washer. We've talked about this a ton of times in the past. I've actually sold this product for a while in the past, but it's definitely one of those saturated dropshipping products that you see pop up every single year around the same time, and then all the competition pours in, and then it dies off of the season or whatever. So I'm not saying you can't sell this product, but it's definitely going to be difficult with all the saturation. And that's also one of those things that's been sold so much that when there's lazy dropshippers, they give everybody else a bad name. So people just slap any product on their page and not really give a good customer experience. So every time someone on Facebook sees that product advertised, they're going to associate it with a scam. A lot of times, even if you just started your own store and you're testing a product, you'll see people popping up saying, I bought this product in the past, I got scammed, don't buy, even though it has nothing to do with your brand. But it's definitely good that Facebook's starting to crack down on those people, because you definitely wanted to get it together during this time. You just can't dropship the way people used to, where you find random products and slap them on and hope for the best. You actually have to put in the work nowadays. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked there. Let's look at the product images on here. So okay, this shows the different nozzles that come with it. So some of these product images aren't the best, but they're also not the worst. So this shows it in use, and I really don't like this image right here. This is what I talked about with random images thrown all over the place. So it shows the product in use on a car, spraying up in the air on another car, and then the two nozzles. That is just too much going on at once. So we won't be using that image for this video. Same thing right here. This is a low quality image. I don't even know where they got this. Must have just screenshotted some type of video or something, but doesn't look the best. Here's the specifications and everything, all the sizing. I've actually gone through in the past and changed like the millimeter to centimeters or inches when it makes sense, but it's fully up to you. And yeah, so here are the product images we have to work with. Some of them are pretty high quality, but more so than others. Alright, so to get started, we'll just use this photo right here. So you want to show what comes with the product. So a lot of times, what I look for on these product pages are at least a high quality product image that I can use as kind of the stock image. I want to show what's included, so something like this image right here. Then I also want to show the product in use and all the different uses that apply to the product. So we'll go through and I'll show you how to create each one of those images right now. So right here for this image, you'll go through and you'll just click copy image, and we'll go over and paste it in Canva and get started. Alright, so we're back over here in Canva on the Instagram post, and you'll just click right here and Control V to paste it. And then you'll just want to drag the corners out to the other corners to scale the photo to size. And this is what we have to work with right here. So I don't really like the jet spray tip and the fan spray tip. We'll shorten that up a little bit. So if you go on the left hand side and click elements, you can see this square right here. And what we'll do is we'll size it up a little bit and just throw it over top of this. And turn it white. And now you can't even tell that there was words there. So we'll go through, we'll duplicate that element right there, and we'll paste it down here. Ooh. Okay, so you can actually see the shadow behind this. It doesn't look that good. So what we'll do is we'll raise this up a little bit. Hopefully this works. We'll duplicate this, turn this to 90 degrees, and put this up here. Okay, so you can't even tell on that one. There's a shadow on that one still. If you want to go through and do the same thing there, you're totally fine, but I'm just going to move on. We'll keep things short and simple for this. So I'm not going to make everything perfect, but I just want to give you the general idea of what I like to do for my product images. So on the left-hand side, you'll click text. I always click add a heading, and just come up with a name. A lot of times you want to brand everything together, so if you can come up with a unique name that other people aren't using, go for it, but we'll just type in like jet nozzle, and that's what comes with it. So you want to choose a font. I like to use Oswald a lot of the time, so we'll do that for this one, and then we'll resize it. Go down to, let's try 32, a little bit bigger than that. We'll go, how does 48 look? 42, perfect. All right, so we'll go to 42, and then we'll duplicate that, and then for that one, that's the fan, so we'll just say fan nozzle. And like I said, be creative with it, come up with your unique, branded names and everything. So that looks good there. And then you can use the little line adjustments to make sure everything's lined up and looking good. But yeah, just give everything a name, make sure it's labeled, and there's not too much going on. So you'll want to give it a title, what you're showing in this image. So just to stand out, I'll click the glow on the left hand side. We'll resize this first, and then I'll say 2 free nozzles included. So it's just a good buying point, just an incentive to buy. And then you'll change the color to however you're branding your store. So a lot of times you want to keep the colors the same as your website and your logo and everything else, so it all stands together. So let's just say, we have this pressure washer store, logo's blue for water or whatever, and then we have that there, and then you can just resize it however you want. We'll drag this to the bottom down here, and that looks pretty good. That's not the best, but it's definitely a good start. And then a lot of times you'll want to take your logo, upload it to Canva, and just put it in one of the corners or something. So I'd probably put my logo down here, up here, something like that, or even put it in the back and mess with the transparency a little bit. But just be creative, be unique, and don't overwhelm your customers. So definitely be careful with how much you're throwing on these product images and how much words are being thrown around and stuff like that, especially if you're going to be using any of these for Facebook ads. They're very picky with how many words you can have on the actual product image, so try to minimize all that. But for this looks good for a product page image, so you'll go ahead and download that and just throw it on your product page on Shopify. Okay, so that was that one. I just wanted to show what was included in that and add the text and everything else to the bottom of that. So like I said, use persuasive words, use words that are targeted towards your customers or your niche, and do not overwhelm them. I cannot stress that enough. Just show what's included, we're giving you these 2 little bonus tips. Thanks for supporting our company. So scrolling down, here's another good one. So like I said, I like to use a good stock image, a good what's included, and then a few images of the actual product in use. So we'll go ahead and copy this one. This is a good image of the product in use. And we'll go over to Canva. Okay, so let's get that pasted in here. Like I mentioned before, drag the corners to resize the image, and let's mess around with this one. Okay, so I'll just give it a quick little title, and we'll say something along the lines of variety of uses. And then go ahead and make that Oswald, and I'll drag it up to this corner. We'll resize it a little bit to make sure everything fits in there to scale. And yeah, that looks good. So let's see, we might even, okay, yeah, that looks good. So we'll use all caps, make it a little smaller. Okay, so something like that. And like I mentioned, you want to keep the colors consistent with your branding. So since this is like a water type brand, we'll use this blue. We'll just pretend the logo matches it. And like I mentioned, you want to throw your logo on all these images, so throw it up in one of these corners or whatever, but just be creative with it. So variety of uses, we'll duplicate that, and we'll say for the first one, okay, so you're just power washing something. I can't even tell what that is, but we'll just say first use is good for deep cleaning. We really need to resize this one. We'll go down to like 36. We'll add that over here. You can find a good way to make everything line up, but like I said, I want to keep this video very short and simple. For this one, we will say car wash, line that up there too, copy that. We'll say I don't know, pet bat, or yeah, we'll say pet friendly for that one. Like I said, use the lines and everything to align all these. I know I'm doing a terrible job at that, but like I said, just trying to demonstrate for this video. So for the last one, we will say garden safe and get everything lined up. So obviously there's a lot more uses than just this. So you can copy this and say something along the lines of, and so much more. We'll resize that a little bit and throw it down here. So like I said, just demonstrating, labeling, and add your logo to it. You're really just trying to create consistent branding for your store so everything lines up and looks nice on there. Because if someone clicks your product page and they just see all this, they might not understand, like me in that first image, what's going on, or down here if you're just looking at it really quickly. So it's just kind of explaining what's going on in the picture and all that, and providing more detail. And then right here you say and so much more. You can even provide details in your description, or even choose more images than just this one right here. So some of the other listings I've seen had way more detailed pictures than just these 4 right here, but like I said, a lot of the times it's also overwhelming, so sometimes it's good to put the and so much more and stuff like that. But let's move on to the next product image. Okay, so I did not like that one. There's too much going on in this one. Okay, it's good to have a size chart, so we'll copy that, paste it over in Canva, drag out the corners. So like I've mentioned, sometimes I'll go through and actually convert the millimeters, centimeters, or inches, or whatever, depending on the product, if it makes sense to. We'll leave it for this. It'll definitely be a little complicated to change some of these numbers like over here, but yeah, just mess around with it. We'll just leave it for this one, but we'll keep things very simple with this. So this image honestly speaks for itself. It has all the sizing and everything already there. So for this one, we'll just click text, add a heading, and we'll say something like size chart, and then we'll throw that up here and change the color to match the rest. So you can match that same tone of red to these tones over here, but I'm not going to bother doing that right now. Expand the size, and that looks good. So you can throw that on your product page in case anyone wants to know the exact measurements and specifications. You have this size chart over here. So let's go over to Aliexpress, and I'll show you guys one more trick for actually creating the stock image. Okay, so that last listing we were on didn't have really any good stock images, no pictures of the actual product itself, kind of just zoomed in up here, zoomed in on the handle and everything else. So I went and found another listing for the same product, and we'll just use this. So with this, you can either do the same thing, bring it over to Canva, size it out yourself and all like that, and save it and just slap it on to your store. But a lot of times when I'm messing around with the actual branding colors and stuff on my websites and trying to tie everything together, what I will do is this. So there's a website right here. There's a ton of free websites like this, but I found this one to be the best. It's called remove.bg. So what this does is you throw images on there and it will remove the white background automatically for you. So we'll go through, we'll drag this image over to this website, and it's going to go ahead and remove the white background. And as you can see right here, we can just click download and add this product to our store. So if you guys have like a colorful background or something like that, this will just appear right in front of it, and there will be no white space or anything taken up on your store. So that's definitely a good practice to do for your branding and everything else, but you don't have to. Like I said, you can throw that over onto Canva and create your own high quality images that way. So I hope I was able to help you out in this video. I tried to keep things short and simple so you guys can get to work right after watching this. If this video helped you out in any way, go ahead and drop a like to help me out, and subscribe as there's plenty more to follow. I have 2 ecom resources linked in the description below. You're welcome to check out either one of those. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.